Sure, you've got a Herculean task ahead of you, but you're a man who's climbed Mount Everest, for goodness sake. Is this the political Mount Everest? Tell me a little bit about this campaign.
Well, it is. It's putting one step in front of the other. And I've always said that it's how you deal with failure that ultimately determines success. So one foot in front of the other. All of us, David, we deal with adversity every single day.
Yeah.
We can choose to give up or recognize that it is just part of the daily routine and get up tomorrow with a smile on your face. I'm the guy that gets up tomorrow with a smile on his face.
Very nice.
Tomorrow's the best day of my life.
That's a great outlook. Let me ask you this, and this is the Oprah portion of the interview, where I go back in time. But tell me a little bit about the outdoors, everything from paragliding, which I know there was that accident, but Mount Everest and just these triathlons. There's something about that for you. What is it about your DNA that makes you want to do these type of events? And really, is it more than just exercise? What is it exactly?
I think that we are all in search of a state of Zen. And I will describe Zen as just being in the moment. When you're in the moment, when there's nothing else that matters, that's what life is really about. So whether you find that playing golf, art, playing music, whatever it is, get as much of it as you possibly can. I found myself in a state of Zen the entire time that I was governor of New Mexico. Not campaigning to be governor, but actually the job itself. And I find myself in the moment in athletic endeavors. So mountaineering, just the immediacy of mountaineering, staying cold, staying warm, dealing with eating enough. Same with athletics, just very, very in the moment. And I think that's what we all really, really enjoy in life.
Tell me a little bit about, take me back to 2005, that paragliding accident. This accident nearly killed you. It was very serious.
Well, very serious. I took up paragliding in a really big way. I was Icarus. I was going to fly to the sun. In retrospect, that's why I had the accident. The sport didn't scare me. So I was flying in Hawaii. I'd been there for a couple of weeks flying. And on this particular day, I took off first. They always say, why take off first? Why be the wind dummy when there are others there? Well, I did that about half the time I was there. And then I took off from a really tight spot, which I also did half the time I was there. But immediately after taking off, I realized that I was flying into the trees that for 2 weeks I'd been flying over. Well, so my harness gets caught in the top of a tree, and all I can think about is how tangled my wing is going to get in the tree. Well, my harness gets caught in the top of the tree, the wing stalls, and I just fall a straight 50 feet. I have a burst fracture of my 12th T vertebrae. I lost 1.5 inches in height in the accident. I broke 6 ribs. I had an ACL separation. Those were the things that you could measure, David, but my hips and my shoulders and everything, it took me about 3 years to fully recover from that accident. But I will say that 6 months later, I did bicycle from Santa Fe to Napa Valley. So I rode my bike 1,500 miles six months after the accident.